When we think about construction, we think about concrete, steel and asphalt, the building blocks of the modern world. But the single most important part of any engineering project lies underneath. Soil is the real foundation. Without the right soil, building projects simply wouldn't happen. Powerbetter are Britain's oldest, most experienced soil stabilisation firm, keeping your development on track.
Well, Powerbetter offers the services of soil stabilisation. That's particularly what we specialise in. It's the treatment of inorganic soils, be they cohesive or non-cohesive. We work in industrial, in private industry, typically airports, taxiways, runways, supermarket, car parks, industrial units, typically car parks for the likes of your big superstores. Soil stabilisation is the treatment of soils, cohesive and non-cohesive soils, with powders, typically quicklime and cements, where you change the characteristics of the soil and make them into a more workable and engineered foundation fill and as sub-bases, so that these materials then can be used as a construction medium. Contaminated soil is typically, as what we all know, is these brownfield sites from old industrial workings, mostly in inner cities. Thankfully, the green fields of agriculture are not typically contaminated soils. They are a challenge to work on, but they're not a challenge if they're tackled in the right way.
Soil stabilisation is a well-established earthworks process, but for years it has been underutilised in the UK. Powerbetter were for many years the sole provider of stabilisation services, and as a result, we have the best experience and equipment in the country. We have continually invested in our knowledge and machinery, learning from partners abroad and adapting it to British conditions.
Over the years, Powerbetter must have worked on literally thousands of projects, ranging from throughout the UK, throughout Ireland for the past 18 or 19 years, and basically even the Ascension Islands and across in North America. I believe our Powerbetter's approach has changed by listening to clients, listening to the needs, and also looking at how development and construction has changed. Because initially soil stabilisation was just for general modification of soils, and it was initially used for highway projects. The process has evolved over the last number of years, where it's actually being used for what we call an engineered foundation fill. We've done a number of projects, some high-profile projects, where vast amounts of quantities of materials on site have been excavated, placed underneath buildings, but instead of doing your traditional vibro compaction or piling, these materials have been stabilised to meet specification criteria as the material is being placed. This is something, although it's not in its infancy, it's still fairly new to a lot of consultants.
As environmental concerns have increased, stabilisation has become more popular, able to greatly reduce both emissions and costs by making use of the existing materials at your site. Powerbetter have worked on dozens of infrastructure projects and have a proven process that delivers effective, efficient results.
Contaminated soils in the UK, these are a legacy from industry in the past. They're a legacy from industrial mills. They're a legacy from old soap wastes. We have soils that's contaminated from one end of the country to the other, from agricultural, and now we've got these typical brownfield sites. There's a number of processes for remediating soil. There's thermal desorption, there's bioremediation, and there is our mix-in-place encapsulation, which is a process that Powerbetter tend to specialise in.
Powerbetter are committed to helping our clients make use of existing resources. Beyond stabilisation, we offer a complete land remediation service, able to turn contaminated brownfield sites into clean, usable land quickly and effectively. Equally, we offer our expertise to the maintenance of existing roads through cold recycling, able to rejuvenate asphalt surfaces faster and at a lower cost than any other approach.
I believe Powerbetter, experience of working abroad, has helped us to develop our processes here, both in the traditional soil stabilisation and in dealing with contaminated soils. Because one of the things that we did learn from North America, and that is that dilution is not the solution to pollution. The encapsulation of contaminated soils is much like traditional soil stabilisation. Once it has cured, once the relevant soils analysis and testing has been carried out, then the soil is ready for its next construction phase, i.e. if there's going to be another pavement laid on top of it or a construction layer of a building, it's almost immediately, within a matter of days.